At least 224 killed so far during Iran's crackdown on protests.
Here's a summary of the article.
A human rights group says security forces have killed at least 224 people in Iran's anti-government protests ignited by death of a 22-year-old woman in custody of hijab police last month. The group added that at least 24 government agents, including from the Revolutionary Guards, paramilitary Ba'athi forces and police, have also been killed during the unrest. According to HRANA, about 6,000 people are estimated to have been detained, among whom over 670 people have been identified. HRANA reported that over 420 city and university protest gatherings have been held in 112 cities and 70 universities during the last 4 weeks, while the protest rallies show no sign of abating in the boldest challenge to Iran's clerical regime since the Islamic Revolution of 1979. Young activists in Iran have formed a protest organizing group that seems to represent a new opposition force, successfully issuing calls for demonstrations nationwide. The group, calling itself Tehran Youth, mobilized thousands of protesters in several towns and cities on Saturday and Wednesday through social media at a time of serious internet disruptions. In their latest statement, Tehran Youth have called on people in Tehran and other cities to gather after midday Saturday, in all places where mercenaries and repression forces are not present, to chant "Down with the dictator."
This post received a score of 4,500, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I saw a post on LinkedIn today that claimed all Shiraz University campus being surrounded and shut. All students being kept either captive or tortured or even killed. Internet is down, so this news will not reach mass media. Reported by someone whose relative is in there.
Holy shit, that's horrific.
And not the first time Iran has done exactly this.
Murderous regime in Iran must go. Meat grinder regime in Russia must go. Things are as starkly clear as white and black these days. No multicolored nuance or shades of gray at all.
And us in the West need to be reminded why authoritarian regimes, and the populism that leads to them, is so bad. 224 of some of the most brave Iran people have been murdered by foot soldiers.
You can kill a revolutionary, but you cannot kill a revolution.
Kill enough revolutionaries, then you can. History has shown that many times. A protest isn't a revolution. You don't topple a violent extremist totalitarian regime with a peaceful protest.
Bruh, do you even topple violent extremist totalitarian regimes?
Heck around and find out.
So fucked. I wish the 224 were the ones in charge.
The number almost certainly has to be higher. Just a speculation, and 224 is far too many in the first place. Fuck religion.
BBC is reporting that a lot of the victims are kids.
How many security forces have been killed? Protest isn't going to topple that regime since they have zero qualms about mass killing their own people.
On October 10, state media said that around 24 were killed and 2,000 injured, although many of the injuries were probably light.
So 1/10 of the number of protesters killed if regime numbers can be trusted, which I'm sure is dubious at best. Those ratios need to be reversed if they want a regime change.
They tried to bury us, but they didn't know that we were seeds? Godspeed, Iran.
It's time to end this Iranian government.
To put in perspective, in 2019 protests, it's estimated that 1,500 were killed. Don't underestimate the resolve of those in power on Iran to keep their ways unchanged even in the slightest.
The last protest was about gas prices, and approximately 310 were killed?
How many cops and guard have been killed? That's the number that matters. The only way this ends is when there are more dead oppressors than dead protesters.
Free Iran.
Note the following source. U.S. government funded. I have warned about this for months, that conditions were aligning for a regional alliance between Turkey, Iran, Syria, and perhaps eventually Iraq. The tragic endgame of these civil wars is too often ethnic cleansing. This time it would be up to tens of millions eventually made refugees.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.